this here is Epic Universe itself. This is way off from where the main property is for Universal Studios. But this is a place that I told Comcast back in 2010. When I showed them my layout. I showed them that the mummy itself, the Revenge of the Mummy, was the same. This is where they decided to put Epic Universe, which is next door to Lockheed Martin, which is known for its famous Area 51 when it was Lockheed by itself. Where I said this is a Stargate. This came from the Stargate. The construction itself, showing you what does epic mean. Universe. Here. Because I said that this is what this is. I said it came out of the Stargate. So I'll show you again in the movie. Here you got SandLake Road, where you see that the pyramid sits on a lake of sand. So here it is. And I'll show you something else. Kings Point. Now Kings Point, where I said didn't exist back in 1996, 1997, 1998. It just came about after I said the layout of the pyramid came out. This is center of the pyramid itself. The energy, again, the gold faces that created the layout brought attention. What color is this? It's gold, the same color as the faces that created the pyramid itself. So here it is, a pyramid creating a crown. You see, it's supposed to be a crown, but then when you break it down, it's a pyramid. And then it not only is a pyramid, you have another pyramid going in each direction. That's what this is. What this is, the same as in Mall of Millennia, where you have one side going one way and the other side going the other way. And the other one on each side, you'll see. Even in the movie Stargate, you'll see they'll put two figures on each side of the pyramid and then say, this is what the answer was to the Stargate. Now here, again, why? You have one going this way and then one going the other way. Why? Because this is the Cobra, Uraeus, standing, not backing down. This is this right here. That's what this is. They have no idea. People come here, they move around like zombies. Because it's not their message, it's not their story to tell. That's why they can come around here in oblivion and be oblivious to all of this, because it's not their story. If it was their story, they'd be standing here telling you the same thing, but it's not. So here, this is the Mall at Millennia, showing you one side and the opposite side. This here is showing you the Coleman Prison, because the Coleman Prison has the same opposite sides. So you see, one is on one side and one is on the other side, because it's on each side of this pyramid layout that I show you that's in Orlando, that the Coleman's on one side and the Mall at Millennia is on the other side. But together, all together, it's telling you a point. Kings Point crown, giving you a message, with the backed up by the Cobra that's not moving, by this Cobra itself. Gold again, this representing the sun, all this together, across from Universal Studios. But Universal Studios now, the Mall at Millennia, which came from the pyramid itself. This also, Epic Universe, came from the pyramid itself, the energy of the Stargate that exists. And that's why there's one on one side, and on the other side, there's another one. Because it's showing you the serpent going up. It's showing you this here. That's what it's showing you here. It's showing you that here, right in this area. Why? Because I don't have to tell them something and don't have to get it backed up. What I told them got backed up. This is not some religion where somebody says something and expect you to believe it. The sun is just as plain as the sun that's there in the sky right now, showing you the blue, because it's meaning the blue crown. That's why it's blue, because it's this. It don't have to be something that somebody said that, oh, to do it because this is something that's been done. Because when you're dealing with eternity, there is no linear time. You can go back and forth. you can show something. Just like I said, it began at a checkers. What's on checkers? Crowns. So that's what checkers is. So when you see that this is checkers, and you can see why are these crowns here? Because these are checker pieces. When you jump, you don't need to play chess with them. It's just checkers. See, here is the perimeter of the mall at Millennium. This here is Millennium Boulevard going up. That's what that is. So this is here, Kings Point. This is Millennium Boulevard with the mall itself. The perimeter of the mall is in a circle. And it shows you that in the center of the circle, it's actually showing you an egg. Again, the cell. Because when I told them, clearly in the beginning, they didn't want to believe it. Of course they're not going to believe it because that's the way they do things. They desecrate what people say. They'll attack it. They've been doing this since the beginning. This goes back all the way to the Persians, the Babylonians. They'll attack it. But in Egypt, they absorbed it. They didn't want to destroy it. They absorbed it until the Romans came. Then the Romans tried to destroy Egypt and then tried to make their own version of the lineage of, instead of being Horus, they went to being Caesars. And then again, the clergy came in and used the power, the same thing they did in Karnak, where these clergy, the priests, took over and they tried to make things because they wanted power and riches, and they brought it down from there. But this is what this is all together. The energy itself never went away. Because why? Because you can't destroy energy. It can only transform. That's why I can show you this. That's why I can put these two together. Because energy can never be destroyed. Here's the other side of Epic Universe itself. Epic Universe showing you this is Universal Studios' latest attraction itself, which I said was under the Stargate. And how can I say under the Stargate, coming back from the mall at Millennia, showing you inside the Stargate layout, and then show you that this here is actually the mall at Millennia, the Stargate itself, the energy from the pyramid. Showing you the light, the signals. This came from the Stargate. And you see behind me, the road itself, this here is Destination Parkway. Destination Parkway, inside or in the movie Stargate 1994, which also comes from the Stargate itself. Dealing with Abydos. What's Abydos? Abydos in the movie is a fictional place, but in real life, it's Egypt, the place of Osiris. Here, the destination is what they mentioned. The 6 points, the 7th point, place of origin, the destination. That's what they said. So here it is, showing you the sign at Kings Point, where it says Crown Point. And it shows you the layout of the pyramid and the two interlocking pyramids facing opposite directions, created on both sides, where I said represent Coleman and the Mall at Millennia on each side of the layout, the energy of that pyramid. Inside showing you the Stargate. Here itself is showing you literally destination, which is mentioned in Stargate. After I told Universal Studios about this Stargate back in 2010. Now you see, they created a new attraction, Epic Universe. It's all here. Between Universal Boulevard and John Young. Now what's the significance of that? What's Universal? You talk about the universe. What's John Young? Between there. Destination. John Young, the chief astronaut of the first space shuttle, 1981. Right before I came to Florida itself for the first or the second time. So here it is, the symbolic scenario, but The message is what? You don't get it. You might not understand because it wasn't for you. I'm just showing you. I'm showing you that I can back up what I'm saying. Whether you get it or not, it's because whether I get it or not is what's important. And I have. That's why I was able to go into court and tell him back in 1997. And this is why this manifestation came about now. From the mall, the prison, Coleman, because everything they've done through all time, they've always desecrated what people say or claim to believe, and they like to step on it. But what happens when something comes and turns what you think is yours into something else, like they've done? And when I say they, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So here it is, how I could take this and I could turn this into what I said. When you wish upon a star, makes no difference who you are. That's what this is. The Disney World, the Magic Kingdom, all this together is showing you that this all is connected. Just because you want to make a superficial thing out of it, because a lot of things you say you believe, you really don't, they're just conveniences. If it was an all-seeing, everyday thing, like you be on a job, you're on a job and the cameras are watching you, so you watch every move you make. If you really believe that you have somebody watching you like that every day, you would not do what you do. You would do what you know you're being watched and you know what you're supposed to do. That's why people can party on Saturday, and go to church on Sunday. Because it's all just speculative of what they believe, not really what's there to believe. All the stuff that actually happened already is written down in the book. Nothing else. There's nobody who knows more than what Moses and Jesus knew, can do more than they can do, or what they supposedly have done in the book. If you speak to the same person, the same God, why don't you do the same thing or even greater things? Why can't you do this? Why can't you come out and say, well, from my experiences, this is what came about from what happened to me? Why does it all have to be, I just have to believe it? Why can't you show me something? Why can't you show me destination? Why can't you show me Kings Point? Why can't you show me the Stargate in the Mall at Millennia? Why can't you show me that, being that the Mall at Millennia is the Coleman prison itself, and show you that Coleman itself, being the prison at the mall itself, is actually a prison depicting that scenario back then? Why can't you show me SunTrust building being 441 feet, showing you it's the tallest building allowed in Orlando with 4 pyramids on top, showing you it's actually 4 obelisks on top? Why can't you show me that and say that's where you got it from? Why can't you do that? Why is it everything you say has to be with the bounds of the book? It happened in the book, but what about happening out here? See, the sun and stuff is actually open, and this is what happens when you deal with stuff. How you doing? Yeah, so this here itself is part of what I said, the experience. This whole experience is about why, and you can see how people come and they want to know what you're doing when you're doing it, but I'll break it down. They don't want to hear what I got to say because of the fact that it might change the whole thing. You might not even be able to sleep at night when I get through, because this is not what you think it is. Orlando is not what you think it is. Orlando was dealing with the kingdom of the sun. Again, energy can never be destroyed. It can only be transformed. See? So they want to figure, people want to think they can shake you up and make you stop doing what you're doing, take you off your guard. That's not happening. That's not happening. I've been through too many things for people to say, oh, that's not what it is. Just because it's their opinion, because they don't believe it, they don't want to understand it. That doesn't shake anything. That doesn't mean that doesn't mean spit when you deal with stuff like this. See? You're dealing with things that in itself, the universe has its own language. See? We get caught up in things that we're taught. We think that we're thinking something, but we've been taught to think that way. We've been programmed. But when you see and you look beyond what's there, you'll understand that this is the universe. The universe itself speaks. It has its own language. And sometimes the message comes to those who it's supposed to go to. Not everybody's going to get it. That's why, like I said, you go back to the story, And if you want to believe it or not, the Moses and the Jesus, why there's not 1,000 people saying the same thing at the same time? They're the people that said things from different times and different types of cultures that have similar things that you can say how many different crucified people were going through. Yeah, it happened, but it happened in that time. It didn't happen with 1,500 people claiming the same thing. This is what's happened here. So this is why I can show this. Destination Parkway. So they think they got rules and laws and things, but this is not what goes on here. Hey now. Again, this is how it happens. So yeah, I dealt with prosecutors, I dealt with the feds and all that type of stuff. So people think they're gonna come and make rules and things and tell you what they can do, what they can't do. Listen, this thing here has happened. The Stargate overrules everything. Stargate trumps real estate. All that. So it's not about what people think or what they got the rules are. There are laws and things that are beyond what people think they got. This is the only thing. You only got a thing between life and death. But this scenario is beyond that. When you're dealing with these type of scenarios, you're dealing with eternity. See? They broke down things so superficially that when you talk about stuff like this, if it's not being something to do with money, which look at the sky, look how clear it is, crystal clear. This is what it is.